And so the bottle feeding helped, and then apart from that, what other things did you do to obviously the medication?
Yeah, that really helped.
Which you know is so important if you feel that's the right thing for you to do. And then did you see a therapist or anything like that?
Yeah, and this is the other thing which is it may be quite helpful for people to know is that therapy is not a dirty word in my house. But I am one myself.
You are, aren't you? Yeah,
so I mean, the good thing about that is I have a lovely pool of people that I can tap into.
Yeah.
Although it does get a bit tricky because therapists, friends, you can't therapy each other. It's just part of your code of conduct.
Oh, really?
No,
right. Okay, I see.
But one of my old friend who's sort of peer now, he's a psychiatrist. Because again, when we're postpartum as well, we're recovering physically as well and mentally, and if we're feeling too anxious to leave the house, which was part of my problem as well, I couldn't physically get to an appointment, but I needed to have a talking therapy. So what is so readily available, particularly nowadays, are you can have your counselling appointments via Skype, FaceTime, on the phone, whatever's easy. Yeah, so I sat on the stairs on the phone to mine.
There's so much you don't realise is out there, available to new mums.
So much available, and also for anyone that's experiencing particularly with postnatal mental health, there are a great couple of charities called Pandas Foundation and Birth Trauma Association. Again, they can help. They are part of an online forum. You can ring them up and you can ask for help, and they can do it there and then over the phone with you and help signpost you. But mine was I had my consultation on the phone, my session on the phone. So they're in my Jimmy Jams, you know what I mean? You know, with my massive brick sanitary pad on still, and I was able to have that session, and I was able to. And then when I felt a bit more well, I was able to then go in person. But you don't need to, and actually that really helped quite quickly. Mixture of talking therapy with the medication, and then what I did was I bravely, for me, because getting out of the house was a big deal for me. I signed up to 8 weeks to a baby massage class. And
so you knew you had to go out and mingle with other mummies, and
it was my one thing of the week. So I think schedule just something in. Don't sit in your baby prison. I talk about a lot. Try and get, and it was my one thing, and it meant getting in the car. It meant doing a 15-minute drive, and that's all a big paraphernalia.
Oh gosh, yeah. When you're a new mum and it's the first time, it's so difficult. Like I've talked about this, how hard I found it leaving the house. Not so much. It wasn't so much kind of like the anxiety of it. It was more, God, there's so much I need. What if he cries? I mean, I suppose that is anxiety, really, in a way.
Oh yeah. It's been aware, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just I think the thing is with being an adult and being a responsible adult, you are so in control of your life, and you know exactly what you're doing that day, exactly where you're going, how you're going to get there. If it doesn't go to plan, it's fine.
Especially if you've had a career before.
Yes.
Because you're so in control of your diary.
Oh, so in
your
control.
schedule.
And especially if you're quite an independent person and you do a lot by yourself.
Which we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go from being so fiercely independent to being scared of leaving the house.
Yes.
And I was like, what's happened to me? Who am I?
Yes.
Who is this timid person,
little mouse? I can't even go to,
and doesn't want to leave the house.
I couldn't even in the absolute heart of it. I had exactly. We are one and the same. I remember thinking, I've travelled to flipping Australia by myself for work, and I can't even go 1 mile down the road to Sainsbury's by myself. And I thought, what has this done to me?
What is wrong?
What is wrong with me? And again, not hearing about it from anybody else, you just think you're on your own. You're not on your own.
You are not on your own. Because that's the thing, and like we've said, like a lot of people don't talk about it because you feel like you sound like a terrible mum.
Or ungrateful.
And you know, there's people out there that obviously can't have babies, and you feel awful for even whinging about anything because you know people are in such worse positions than you are. But you've got to talk about it for your own sanity.
You do. And that's the thing, it's not to measure yourself against anybody else. And I was doing that too, because I had very close friends of mine that were struggling to get pregnant. So I daren't mention that I wasn't particularly enjoying A, pregnancy, and B, having a newborn baby. So I felt quite isolated within my own thoughts because I didn't open up and talk about that. But what I did do, and actually what did save me, and I know some people are, you know, NCT, actually. I made an NCT group. I thought the classes were a bit crap, but the girls actually I met were absolutely amazing. And I didn't know these people, but actually that really helped because it was a little WhatsApp group, and just one or two sort of ventured out when you've got babies within the first couple of weeks, and someone sort of went, does anyone know about, I think, one of the girls just mentioned, don't know these girls really, only met once or twice.
Yeah.
And she was like, anyone else a bit bored? And it was brilliant.
I bet it was like a floodgates open.
Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah,
and I always remember it. We were all in our separate houses watching, and this is when you know you were doing a late night feed or an early one, watching the Jeremy Kyle sign language version.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's like the teletext, and someone pinged it at like 3 a.m. and it was just, and I remember it just being this moment of, oh thank God, this is going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah, it is, isn't it? It's the, when you talk to somebody that's gone through similar things to you, like we have, we've got similar stories
we really
to tell.
have,
You feel just that relief. You're like, oh God, I feel so much more normal, and like a weight lifted off your shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah, and then when you do feel like that weight lifted and you feel more normal, hey, guess what happens? Any anxiety reduces, and then you think, actually, maybe I can get to Sainsbury's or whatever it may be.
I can do that.
I can do it, and it's almost like I use with therapy with my clients. It is exposure therapy. You just gradually work your way through it. Yeah. And just don't go from having a newborn, if it's not for you, and then flying to Australia the next week.
Of course.
But if your milestone is literally just getting even out in the pushchair and going down the road, that's fine. That's something, and then just keep building on it.
Yeah,
and you'll get there.
Further and further. That's what mine was. Mine was to walk to the end of the road and go to the coffee shop. And when I first started doing it, I was like, I'll have a coffee and a takeaway cup, please.
Yes.
So I was like, right, I want the takeaway cup just in case he kicks off and I need to leave. I need to go home. And it's only going to take me 5 minutes to get home. The first time I went to the coffee shop, he cried all the way there. And at that point I was like, oh my God, you can't leave a newborn baby crying. What, is he going to be okay? And it was 5 minutes.
Yes.
But at the time, because you don't know, and I was so stressed out by it.
It's so, you always know as well when I still do this now, when we all know about we eat a meal in a minute and a half. But if you'd go out anywhere public, I'd always order and had paid for it before I even sat down.
Same. That's exactly the same. I was like, can I have the bill now, please?
Now, please. Yeah. And we hadn't even been shown to a table, and I'd say to my husband, what are you eating? And he was like, I haven't looked at the menu. Hurry up. We have like 15 minutes. Yeah. I'll have the bill now. I'll pay for it. You may as well get me a Tupperware just in case I need to leave. Yeah. But you do, don't
Bring the doggy bag now. In fact, let's just have a takeaway.
Yeah. In fact, just go home.
Yeah. But so now, how are you so how old's Enzo now?
He's now 21 months.
21 months. And how, anxiety-wise, postnatal anxiety-wise, how are you coping? How are you doing now?
Really, really well, thanks. And it got a lot better. I always say the sun started to come out a little bit, even from as early as 6 weeks. And it was the moment he smiled at me for the first time. And that's actually when the first time I realised I did love him, and that it was going to be okay. Yeah. But it took that long. Yeah. And things started to get a lot better from that way on. And like I just said then, I just gradually, I think it's, we often talk about being kind to ourselves, but I really did action that. And I was like, do you know what, just because a friend of mine, happens to be, leaping around back in a flipping bounce class. Yeah. Whoever does that after a baby, I won't know.
God, yeah. I went for a run and I was like, I'm going to have to stop. Not because I'm tired, because I'm definitely going to wet myself.
Yeah. I'm up to half an hour now running without weeing myself. It's taken me this long, from marathon to that. I was like,
They say pelvic floor exercises, and I was like,
no one does, do they?
No, because we don't think about it, do
now
you?
I'm doing
yeah, you do. Whenever anyone says it, you're like, I'm just going to
draw
up, please.
Draw up.
But do them. They're so important.
Please do them.
Yeah.
But no, really well. And say I've just let myself go with the flow, and I kind of never looked back really. As in, love started to grow. I started to get into my stride. But this is the thing, it's like anything. How can we ever know everything straight away? You have to learn your new job. And I think being a parent, as everyone will say, is you've never learnt it all ever from the minute from conception to death. Yeah. Let's hope that's a long way away. But you're just learning every day of the week. So I think I've just taken the pressure off myself. I think in those early weeks and months, because it was such an overwhelm, I felt this whole need to suddenly be as good as everybody else, or this perception of what seemed to be parenting and perfect parenting, and realised it doesn't exist. We're all just winging it.
We are.
And actually what it comes down to is how I feel each day, and that as long as my son is fed, watered, well and safe, and that I spend enough time with him, but I also, and this is really key and I know it's important for you, it became very apparent to me very early on that I needed to work as well, because it was my identity. It's all I've known. It's my normal.
Yeah.
And it's my foundations.
Exactly the same.
And I couldn't, anyone that is a 24/7 stay-at-home mum, 2 of my best friends are, and I have the utmost respect for them, because I can't do it.
No, I couldn't.
And Karen Brady recently did an interview about saying how she couldn't either. But for me, it's a work-life family balance, and it's very important that Enzo gets my undivided attention when I'm with him, and he does.
Yes.
I make a point of not being on my phone, not Instagramming, not just scrolling crap, of giving him my focus when I'm with him. But yet when I go to work 2-3 days a week, sometimes 4, depending on, we're freelancers, what comes in, I give my all to that work. I make sure he's well cared for with either his nursery or his dad or his grandma. And then I spend really good quality time with him too, doing baby classes. And for me, that is how I've had to work out. That is what makes me mentally balanced.
Yes, it just makes you feel a little bit more normal, a bit more human, and less just mum. Yes. Like you've got an identity back.
Yes, yeah. And I hope that, and I really am pro my choice with that. And
I'm on the same page as you there.
Yeah, really. And it's, I think it can be quite difficult sometimes for like my mum's generation. Well, my mum didn't work when we were little, and I think it took her for a while to get her head around the fact that I wanted to be a working mum. But she's also recognised and had to loosen her beliefs a little bit on that. One size doesn't fit all, and for me, when I was pregnant, I was like, I'm going to take a year off. I don't care about work.
Oh, it's going to be bliss.
Coffee morning mom. 10 days in, I was literally clawing at the walls, emailing my agent saying, give me a job.
Anything.
I just need to do something. So I think my whole sort of point really with mental health in particular, and when you've had a baby, it's enough of an overwhelm. Just take any pressure off yourself, and what you may have thought you wanted at the beginning may not necessarily correspond with how it will end up, and it can work the other way. I've got career girlfriends, mums of mine, who then had their baby and thought there's no way I can leave my baby.
I don't want to go
and
back
jacked
to
it.
it.
I've got lawyer friends who packed in a whole
really?
lawyer, because they don't want it anymore.
I think you've just got to think what's right for you.
Yeah, you do. You and your family do that.
Yeah.
And to heck with anyone else that has an opinion.
Yeah, so done.
Yeah.
Anna, you have been amazing, and I think you have probably helped so many people out there by talking about that. The helplines of therapists that you mentioned there, the Panda.
So it's Panda Foundation, Birth Trauma Association, and Mind charity as well. They're all really good and can help if you need any signposting, but your GP can also really help with that, or your health visitors and your midwives.
Amazing.
And here's the thing, don't be afraid to tell your midwives or your health visitors or your GP if you are having negative thoughts or feeling bad. I promise you, they will not take your baby away.
Yeah.
I know that's what you're thinking, is what I think. They will not, in fact, they do the opposite. They go, don't worry, we will help you in every way we can so you and your baby can be happy together.
Yeah, so do not worry about that.
It won't happen.
But those
websites,
charities, I'll pop them in the description box below so you can have a little look at those if you want to. But it was lovely. It's been a pleasure, Anna.
Thank you.
So
I think
much.
I might just move in, actually.
I know,
Cooper's a joy. I mean, your husband opens the door in his pants. What could you want?
That did happen. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it's helped even just one of you. That would be fabulous. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching, Bump. If you want to watch the playlist, then click here. And if you want to watch last week's episode, then click here.